Now at 11, conflicting orders to federal workers with jobs and livelihoods up in the air.
You're losing bodies that are going to directly impact your safety and security at an airport.
Plus, a town hall in Idaho disrupted by violence.
They threw her on the ground and got on top of her.
While the victim says she was just trying to ask a question. And local mail carriers rally for a better contract and push back against recent comments by President Trump.
We deserve a living wage and to be able to be made whole.
It was a wet day across the Rose City. Since yesterday afternoon, more than 2 inches of rain has fallen over downtown Portland. Thanks so much for joining us here at 11. I'm John Adams. Let's get to meteorologist Joe Ranieri for the latest on this weather impact alert. Joe, the evening's been quiet, but it sounds like that's going to change soon.
Right around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning is when those changes will start to move through, and it's going to be a very wet start to your Monday morning commute. Again, the flood watch that was issued earlier this weekend has been canceled by the National Weather Service, but still lots of colors on the watches and warnings map. We have that high wind warning that will be in place along the Oregon coast, wind advisory throughout the metro area. Again, that purple color you see near Mount Adams is an avalanche warning. So we are going to be seeing dry conditions tonight and into the early morning hours, but again, right around 6 o'clock is when the next round of rain moves in. We're looking at a temperature of 52 degrees. Rainfall today, we came very close from seeing record amounts of rain, just shy of an inch of rain at PDX, almost an inch over in parts of Wine Country and Aurora, over an inch at the Hillsborough Airport and along the Oregon coast. Hoquiam, you saw over a half of an inch. Astoria, not far behind, and at Tillamook, you saw well over an inch of rain. So the weather headlines as we head into the early part of the work week is going to be a stormy start to the week, heavy rain and strong winds. Now these gusts along the coast, I'm expecting to see picking up between the afternoon hours and the evening, anywhere from 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts tomorrow afternoon along the beaches. Here in the valley, again, we have that wind advisory. Gusts will be anywhere from 40 to 50 miles an hour, basically throughout the late afternoon and into the evening hours. There could be some urban and small stream flooding possible with these heavy downpours we're seeing. So the weather impact will be tomorrow morning through really Monday night and early Tuesday. Heavy rain and strong winds. Be aware there could be some possible high water along the roads and some ponding along the roads as well. Right now we're looking at dry conditions, but coming up in my detailed forecast, I'll break down the timing of when the rain arrives and also pinpoint the highest gusts we're expecting to see heading into tomorrow and tomorrow night.
All right, Joe, thank you. We'll see you then. We have a traffic alert for you here in Portland. PBOT is shutting down public traffic on Northwest Cornell Road following a landslide. It happened just west of the intersection of Northwest Skyline and Thompson Road. It's also limiting traffic on Northwest Thompson to 1 lane. This is so crews can conduct a full inspection of the slides. PBOT says it expects the closure to last through Monday. And ODOT has also shut down a section of the Columbia River Highway because of a landslide. The closure is between mileposts 64 and 66, just west of Rowena. ODOT says there is rockfall and debris on the road and to expect a lengthy closure. We're just over a month into President Donald Trump's second term, and thousands of federal workers are being laid off or fired. Federal workers in Oregon and Washington are among millions of others who received an email this weekend asking about their job performance. It raised concerns when Elon Musk took to social media to say failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. A TSA officer at the Seattle International Airport spoke exclusively with Maddie White.
They want to reduce government, but this is not the efficiency kind of way to go about it.
A TSA officer here at SeaTac
I understand.
Spoke to me on the condition of anonymity out of fear of retaliation by their employer.
There are things that you can do to weed out where there are weaknesses. This is not one of them.
The officer at SeaTac is among the 3 million federal workers nationwide who received 2 conflicting directives this weekend.
It's just chaos.
The first, an email Saturday from the Office of Personnel Management mandating that federal workers reply with 5 bullet comments of what they accomplished last week, CCing their manager.
They're trying to just see if you comply.
Typically, this is not how this would work.
You have a chain of command.
Then, on social platform X, Elon Musk wrote, "Failure to respond will be taken as a resignation."
Boom, you lose your job and you're not going to get unemployment, because if it's a resignation, then you can't apply for unemployment.
And how might this impact your airport experience?
If you are getting dismissal of people that are not complying to this ridiculous email, you're losing bodies that are going to directly impact your safety and security at an airport.
Then on Sunday, workers were urged not to respond. The TSA officer got this email from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. All this confusion now has the nation's largest federal employee union telling its members there is no known authority for Musk to make this claim. Still, many questions linger.
What if this does happen? What's going to happen to my family?
Also new tonight, it was a packed gymnasium in Clackamas County as people gathered for a town hall hosted by Senator Jeff Merkley. This event at Clackamas Community College gave people the chance to ask Senator Merkley questions about the issues facing Oregon and the rest of the country. Much of the conversation centered around the actions of the Trump administration, including the freeze of trillions of dollars in federal grants and other spending.
Not fulfilling what Congress said to spend money here and here and here. That is taking the power of the purse and pounding it away, and that is unconstitutional. We had this battle in our past. So we are in the situation where we have to use every single tool, no business as usual.
One viewer told us organizers had to start turning people away because they didn't have enough capacity. A woman in North Idaho was dragged out of a town hall yesterday after speaking out against the policies being discussed. The incident happened during the Kootenai County Republican Central Committee Legislative Town Hall. Teresa Borenpole says she tried to ask elected officials a question, which led to unknown security officers dragging her out of her seat and out of that meeting. She was treated for bruises at the ER.
She was literally just sitting in her seat when they came up and just like ripped her out of her seat and started they threw her on the ground and got on top of her. And so there was a lot of women directly around her saying, "Who are you? Why are you doing this? Get your hands off of her." And then there were other people in the audience that were cheering and clapping. And honestly, it was sad.
Our Idaho News partners reached out to the Kootenai County Republican Central Committee, who hosted the town hall, as well as the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office. They have not yet responded. USPS workers rallied Sunday afternoon for what they called a fair contract and spoke out against President Trump's recent comments about the Postal Service and its future. These workers say they're underpaid, overworked, and are now worried about the future of the Postal Service. Our Celine Stevens spoke to some demonstrating workers today.
I'm almost 51 years old. I never thought at this age I'd have to work 2 jobs.
Fight like hell! Fight like hell!
No matter the rain, snow, or sun, United States Postal Service mail carriers deliver your mail. But Sunday, in the pouring rain, mail carriers, a part of the National Association of Letter Carriers, came out to rally.
So our contract expired in May of 2023. We've been negotiating that contract since then, actually since before then. The best offer that the Postal Service was willing to put on the table was a 1.3% wage increase.
Workers voted that down, demanding a more livable wage.
It's hard to just survive, and we're out here every day in this kind of weather, working, and we deserve a living wage and to be able to be made whole.
According to workers, some positions like city carrier assistants make less than $20 an hour, while sometimes working up to 12 hours a day.
I made $19.33 an hour, so it barely covered my bills.
Now, workers like Tina Fisher have made their way up to higher positions, but it's still hard.
I'm only making $22.13 an hour as a career letter carrier coming up on 3 years. And my second job, believe it or not, I actually make more hourly there than I do at the post office.
Not only were workers rallying for a better contract, but also against the latest words from the Trump administration following the swearing in of the new Department of Commerce secretary.
We're leaving the Postal Service, but we're losing so much money with the Postal Service, and we don't want to lose that kind of money. So the secretary and some others that have talent, that kind of talent we'll be looking at.
Why is it that the post office is expected to turn a profit every year, but no other government agency is expected to turn a profit?
Trump also mentioned potentially merging USPS with the Commerce Department, bringing up concerns of privatization.
That would get us closer to privatizing, and it may not be an immediate thing, but it would be a kind of a slow burn.
We make those shipping rates cheaper for everybody, and with the privatization of the service, those rates are going to increase dramatically.
That was our Celine Stevens reporting. USPS sent us a statement earlier this evening saying it respects its employees' rights to express their opinions and participate in informational picketing while off the clock. Well, after more than 6 weeks on the picket lines, Providence workers with the Oregon Nurses Association are currently voting on the latest tentative agreement with the medical group. The ONA says it includes changes to staffing plans, plus major wage increases and retroactive pay.
Everyone's going to have to look at it and see how it measures up. The things we won, the things we didn't win, and see if they're willing to say yes.
It's better than our first TA, for sure, but still not what we really hoped for.
In a statement, Chief Executive of Providence, Jennifer Burrows, said that Providence is hopeful that ONA represented nurses will ratify the tentative agreements that pave a solid path forward for us all. The vote will last until 4 o'clock tomorrow. If the contract gets ratified, nurses will return to work on Thursday.